What is up, guys? Rick Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today, with the arrival of Season of the Arrivals for Destiny 2, you may have noticed that something weird is happening to your legendary engrams. They're coated in the darkness, and they're called Umbral Engrams. Well, that is combined with the fact that there is a brand new interactable device called the Umbral Decoder near the Drifter, and then there's a whole different device called the Prismatic Recaster also near the Drifter that has a bunch of stuff going on. Well, it turns out that all three of these things combined are the main reward structure for this season, and mastering and knowing how to upgrade all of this efficiently is going to mean you get a ton of rewards, great rewards, as easily as possible. And so, let's get started. But just before we do, something else that happened this season is that Bungie introduced completely customizable controller remapping. So there is no better time to upgrade your controller. I would check out the ASTRO C40. Buttons on the back, software that helps you adjust trigger pull, dead zone, sensitivities, all of that stuff. Check it out by clicking the link in the description down below. Because I'm an ASTRO partner, you're gonna save money and help the channel out. Definition of a win-win. All right, now let's get started with Umbral Engrams. So, you're gonna get these by just randomly playing the game. They drop from pretty much any source, just like a normal legendary engram. However, the drop rates and where they drop from can be manipulated with the Prismatic Recaster. Now here's the thing, you don't technically have to use the Prismatic Recaster. You can just earn Umbral Engrams and then go to the Umbral Decoder that's next to the Drifter to actually get the rewards from these engrams. So Umbral Engrams are kind of the rewards. They are the thing you are farming this season, and you don't necessarily have to upgrade anything. You will have a chance to get all the rewards just out of these engrams, but it's going to take you a lot of grinding to do so, because what the Prismatic Recaster is capable of doing is turning these Umbral Engrams, where they just spit out a random piece of loot. They're almost like a legendary engram. They have a huge loot pool, and it can focus them. So essentially, by utilizing the Prismatic Recaster properly, you're going to be able to take an Umbral Engram and, by doing certain things to it, eliminate certain portions of its loot pool. So you can make it not drop armor and you can only get certain weapons. You can make it so you get very specific weapons and therefore make those a lot easier to farm for a god roll. You can make it so it only drops certain armor. You can do a lot of different things to it, and again, that's really going to help you actually get the loot you want to get. So let's focus on this Prismatic Recaster. How do you start doing that? How do you start focusing these Umbral Engrams? Well, you're going to see at this vendor essentially under Umbral Affinity two different options. On the left is where you actually start to focus your Umbral Engrams and get very specific loot drops, and on the right is going to be bonuses for earning more Umbral Engrams, leveling up faster, etc. Now let's talk about that statement, leveling up the Prismatic Recaster. That is going to let you unlock different and more focused Umbral Engrams, as well as give you Umbral Engrams and again let you earn more. So, how do you level up your Prismatic Recaster? Well, it's going to be from one of two different new seasonal currencies that were just introduced. You need Twisted Energy pictured here. Now you're gonna get Twisted Energy a little bit just for doing kind of the first main quest to introduce you with this season, but the main ways you're gonna get Twisted Energy is firstly from the seasons past. There's a few along the way to leveling up, especially in that premium section. And secondly, most commonly, you're going to get them from the weekly bounties that are available directly from the Prismatic Recaster. Now, importantly, These bounties, they award 500 twisted energy each upon completion, and they are not account bound, which means if you have multiple characters, you can do multiple of these bounties, and that's going to work out very similarly to Season of Dawn, if you can remember, where leveling up your obelisks had to do specifically with completing as many of these weekly bounties as you can. So if you do have multiple characters, I would highly recommend doing them, because as you can see right here, they're actually very simplistic. I mean, I have one for just getting precision kills on any combatants, and then I have another one for killing Cabal, and I have to get 10 finishers. So let's do both at the same time. I go to the Leviathan, which is only 750 light, and I can just have infinitely spawning Cabal, get both of these done in a matter of minutes, so I don't even have to have this second character or third character leveled up. I can very easily be doing these weekly bounties and complete 6 in a week instead of 2. That is a huge deal. In any event, it's going to cost 500 twisted energy to rank up your Prismatic Recaster, and when you do, again, you're going to get an Umbral Engram, and you're going to unlock a bonus that you can choose. So under Umbral Affinity, select Gifts of Light and Dark, and as you can see, there is a bunch of different upgrades, similar to what we've seen in previous seasons. And all of these different upgrades do different things. Most of these have to do with getting more Umbral Engrams in certain ways. One has to do with being able to upgrade more Umbral Engrams for free each day. Another gets you planetary materials, but by far the most important one that you want to upgrade first is going to be the one on the far right top, and that is Umbral Mastery 1. What this is going to do is give you a small amount of twisted energy every single time you decode an Umbral Engram. And you can see this in the background gameplay. As I'm decoding these Umbral Engrams, you can see my level is actually slowly going up. This is by no means a lot of progress, but it is progress. And if you upgrade this first, you're going to see the most benefit from it. At the end of the day, you're probably going to get 1 or 2 free levels from this upgrade. But to understand these upgrades better, let's take a look at the other side of Umbral Affinity, which is Umbral Focusing, as you can see. So there's 3 different sections: Basic Umbral Focusing, Improved Arsenal Focusing, and Improved Armor Focusing. You're going to unlock different tiers as you rank up and unlock more bonuses from the light and dark side. But importantly, we can see how this works right off the bat with the basic Umbral Focusing. So I can choose to turn my Umbral Engrams into Pyramid Focus Umbral Engrams, Gambit Focus Umbral Engrams, Seasonal Focus Umbral Engrams. And all of these are going to have different and much more limited loot pools. So the pyramid-focused Umbral Engram is what a lot of people out there are going to be going after. As you can see, the loot pool is only the brand new Season of Arrival's weapons. So you turn your Umbral Engrams into these, and you can much more easily farm these new weapons. However, you can see at the top right, you have free weekly focuses. So some of them you can just change for free, but after a few, it's going to start to cost another resource. The second new seasonal resource, and that is Altered Element, pictured here. Essentially, once you run out of your free weekly focuses, it's going to cost 50 Altered Element to focus an Umbral Engram. Eventually, in the improved focusing, it costs 100, and with the armor focusing, it costs 250, and also a trace override, which we're going to talk about in a sec. But essentially, it's more and more expensive as you get more and more focused. So how do you get Altered Element? Well, the main way is going to be doing the daily bounties from the Prismatic Focuser. But a quick tip here, check your triumphs. In the Season 11 triumphs, unlocking certain ones will actually give you Altered Element, so there's some free resources if you haven't been claiming those. Okay, so as you're doing all of this, you're ranking up your Recaster with the Twisted Energy, and then you're focusing Umbral Engrams, etc. You will actually be increasing your Umbral Research score, which is in the bottom right corner. Keep this in mind because as you continually level up your Recaster, you're going to be able to unlock different mods, which some of them are quite powerful, And then eventually you're also going to be able to buy the trace overrides from here as well to let you focus those armor Umbral Engrams. Now the thing is, if you're looking for a specific path or a way you should upgrade the Gifts of Light and Dark, there isn't really one definitive answer other than make sure to get the top right first, but really you just want things that are going to get you more Umbral Engrams to make the most of that top right perk, and that really depends on what you're playing. If you're doing a bunch of the Contact Public event, make sure to pick the different bonuses that let Umbral Engrams drop more from those Contact Public events. The other one I would really recommend is in rank 3. The far right one, Umbral Mastery 3, lets you reduce the cost of all focusing by 50%. So that is absolutely huge. That's one of the things you should unlock right away. And so guys, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.